feel like I've become a bit trapped by social media and by my own channel, where what is something that can be amazing, and I love making these videos and I feel like I can be authentic in making them and commenting and getting to know all of you. At the same time, I feel like I have attached myself often to analytics, metrics, numbers, likes, subscribers, views, all these things, and it can really take away from that enjoyment, and it can become something that almost obsessive, and that's kind of where I'm feeling like I'm at the moment. While I do feel like I'm able to continue making videos which feel me and feel authentic, I'm still checking how are these videos doing all the time, and that it has a hold over me, and I don't like that. And I think the only way that I can kind of get around that is having a little break from it and just sort of resetting and thinking the numbers will be what they are. I don't need to be constantly checking them. I can just sort of, sorry, you're gonna have to excuse me. I've got a bit of a cold. It's very hot as well. You can probably tell because I'm sweating. Anyway, yeah, I feel like I'm just focusing too much on them, and it takes away the fun for me because, as I say, it becomes this sort of obsessive thing, obsessive checking YouTube Studio. For any of you that also make videos, you'll be aware of that. Yeah, and I just want it to be about the bits that I really love, which are chatting to the camera, getting to know you through the comments and through conversations, and also as this outlet where I can offload things that I wish to that are going on in my life. I think there's also an element of, with my new job as a support worker for young people, how much of that would I want to share? There's a cautiousness there, and then it's like, well, if I'm not sharing that where I'll be spending a lot of my time, what do I want to talk about? And then getting into the kind of mundaneness of chatting about my day and things like that, which are fine and I kind of like talking about, but then you get in your head about, will people actually want to see this, and do people actually care about this? And then you also get in your head, sorry, I'm gonna have to wipe my nose, about, am I just being really self-absorbed and vain? Vain, maybe not the right word, but kind of just talking about myself all the time. You hear so much about sort of needing to provide value and this and that, and then but forget about that. It's more just in my head, I'm like, why do, and I know that people say really positive things that are lovely about my channel and about me towards me and the chats I have, but there's this feeling of like, you're just talking about yourself all the time. And I recognise that if we're to go put on the therapist brain, because that's what I'm training to be, I recognise that when I was younger I felt like I didn't have that space where, or even like just generally when I'm meeting new people, there's this kind of barrier where I'm like, yes, I feel like it's a part of me where I want to be doing a lot of listening, and that's my way of connecting with people through getting to know them, but also there's almost this thing of don't share too much about your life, or don't talk too much, and this and that, and I don't know why I'm saying this and that so much, but this real like self-criticism, and maybe that's where I'm at a little bit, is that I'm being quite hard on myself. Maybe there's an element of like watching videos as well that I think are amazing, and I think I almost aspire to be like that, but also at the same time, and this is why there's so many conflicts going on, I'm like, well no, I like my channel, I like what I'm doing with it, and I love making my videos, and I love making my coffees and having chats, and I think there's this element as well where over the last week or so, with my changing routine with my new job, there's this feeling of like, I don't know how much time I'm gonna be able to put into that. Am I gonna be able to make my videos, which I've struggled with, as you've seen. Where do I make my videos? How do I make my videos? When do I make my videos? It becomes all a bit logistical, and I don't want it to be a logistical thing. it used to be a thing that was part of my routine for a long time, like before work, and the ease of that. But now it's almost it's almost like I have to squeeze in making a video and making it efficient and quick, which obviously sometimes I would have to do. I'm waffling so much. I don't know. I don't want it to become a logistical thing, and I don't want it to just be this numbers thing. And I'm trying to be like really honest here. Something that I've not liked about the process is how it's very difficult to detach from that as much as I can. I have had phases where I've not cared so much, and even in my videos I am allowing myself to kind of speak freely and not worry too much about titles, as you've seen with the recurring titles for the most part. And the thumbnails, again, like very minimal effort. In fact, with this I might even just I might take a picture just in this position, or I might even just screenshot a frame from the video. But I just wanted to kind of update you with where I'm at with it. The new job's really good. Obviously still training and stuff, and I'm figuring out logistics with that, like rota and stuff like that, when I really get into the work. But I think there's like this level of uncertainty with figuring YouTube out around work, trying to take a step back from the kind of numbers thing, because it also just feels like that's an element that is inauthentic. Although it's not really affecting how my videos are, it's still a thing of I'm putting up a video which I know isn't like optimal. I know it isn't the best quality. I'm not providing value in the traditional sense. Maybe in the sense of like it can be enjoyable just as a nice watch, hopefully sometimes. But I know they're not the kind of videos that are going to go viral. Yet I'm still checking, and I'm almost disappointed when I'm not getting more views. But that's ridiculous because I'm not making it in a way that is going to get as many views, you know. So it's just confusing, and I just overthink it too. I don't need to. It can just be this fun process that I do, which it is. But then I want to kind of remove that element of it, and so I think hopefully taking a little break. I don't know how long for, maybe a couple of weeks. Might be less, because I might just really miss making the videos, even if that means I am still kind of checking the numbers and stuff, then so be it. I'll be back when I'm back, but hopefully this little reset, a week, 2 weeks, maybe more, will help with that. There's even this thought of like, I'll probably title this something like Goodbye YouTube. And part of that is also thinking, oh, well, I've seen a video before where someone leaves YouTube and they get loads of views. And I don't like that that's kind of going through my head. And while part of me, as I leave, will be thinking, oh, imagine if I come back and I haven't checked my YouTube and I've got loads of new subscribers, loads of views on the video, all this. I don't like that. I don't like being in that kind of frame of mind, because it does feel inauthentic, and that's not what I want this to be about. And I'm trying to be real with you here and say that maybe I'll keep you updated on it. But also I think that becomes quite meta, and a lot of you aren't here to hear about YouTube as such. You're probably here to hear about my life, which can be difficult to say, because I'm kind of like, why would people be interested in that? But that's kind of like the self-criticism and the almost like I don't know what the word would be, almost like boo-hoo me, which is quite mean as well to myself. But yeah, I'm very hot and sweaty now, so I'll say bye. But I just wanted to obviously say bye to you all and say thank you for always being here and your ongoing support. I really appreciate it, and don't worry, I will be back very soon. But I just feel like I needed a bit of a break, you know, like new job, lots of change, lots of new things, change of routine, and I think it kind of works with that as well. But I will be back, and hopefully it will be a fresh kind of way of doing things, although I don't think I'll be doing my videos again any differently. It will just be like my mindset of what happens once I've done the videos will maybe change, because as I say, the videos are me, and that is something that I stick by. And you can tell when it's not, because I start trying to sound all scripted, but which I have done in some previous videos, you know, like older videos. Yeah, that's that. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, take care, and I will see you all pretty soon. Okay, thank you, bye.